Hello, everyone. I am Chuang. Let's draw the body of Zuul. Zuul looked rather peculiar overall. First of all, it was relatively flat. Its legs also seemed pretty short, and its body felt like a flattened pancake. Its tail was very long. So, when composing the picture, we should consider the body-to-tail ratio. Its head was very small, which we also should pay attention to. When composing, we should first determine the size of its head, and then add details after checking the head-to-body ratio in the entire picture. We also should pay attention to the arrangement of these bony spikes on its body and what they look like from the side. In addition, its limbs were very short, so note this point when drawing. Now, let's draw the whole body of Zuul. Let's first determine each part on the paper. Its head is about this big, and its neck is here. The torso should be drawn roughly here. There were no spikes under the belly so that we can draw a solid line. The hind limbs and forelimbs. Then, its tail reaches approximately to this position. Now, we can start drawing. There was a distinct arc on the top of its head. Then, we draw its mouth and its lower jaw. There was a horn here at the lower jaw. Then, let's draw its jugal bone, followed by the horn behind the eye. Then, this is the other side. Here, we draw its eyes, which were quite small and had soft skin around them. Then, its mouth will be grinned here. We show the keratin in these locations, and the boundary between keratin and skin. Here, on the side of the head, we use a light line to draw a ridge. Its nostrils faced forward. Then, we use a very faint line to represent the plates on the head. There were 3 plates at the turn on this side. Then, there's its beak. We can draw some wrinkles on the corners of the mouth and some texture on the keratinous parts. Then, draw an ear hole here. Next, let's draw large plates on its head. These plates were like a wall made of stones, and they looked well arranged in rows. Now, we come to the neck. From the side, we can see 2 relatively sharp plates on the neck. We draw a shadow below the plate to highlight its blade, or axe-like structure. Each plate on the side had another plate on its top. Its neck had a structure resembling 2 collars. There was another plate below, 3 on each side, and a total of 6 on each collar. 2 plates can be seen on the other side. Draw the bottom contour of the neck here. Set its shoulders roughly at this position, and then its forelimbs. We use relatively light dotted lines to draw the forelimbs. Along the plates on the side of the neck, we outline 7 sharp spikes on the body side evenly distributed backward. Then, 7 more plates come after the plate on the top of the neck. For the lower row, we just drew a line representing its blade-like structure, and now we draw the upper outline. Draw the edges of the upper row of plates. The blade-like parts were slightly tilted upward. We can directly draw it into the shape of a spike. We complete the structure of these armor plates. Further up are the sharper bony plates on the back, corresponding to the 2 rows below. Just draw in this direction. The next row up still corresponds to the bottom. Draw all the plates on the side. Moving downward to this position, the row of the plates became relatively flat. Draw its legs in this position. Its thigh was long, followed by the calf and foot. It had 3 toes. There was a skin connecting the thighs and sides of the body. Then, we draw its forelimb, the upper arm and forearm. We can draw its forearm with dotted lines for now. Then, draw armor plates on the forearm, which had many large bony plates. Those bony plates all had a blade-like structure in their middle, resembling those on its back. It had 5 fingers. The first 3 were used for walking, and the other 2 had no nails. Only 4 fingers are visible on this side, and we can see the thumb. We can draw several larger armor plates on its upper arm. Then, draw some wrinkles on the armpit. Now, we draw its belly, which was relatively flat at the bottom and raised upward at the rear. We can give it a slightly droopy feel. Then, draw the other forelimb. From this angle, we can see the thumb. We can draw some folds on this leg. The other leg steps on the ground like this. And we can probably see 2 toes on this side. Now, let's show the muscles on the legs slightly. Then, just like what we did for the armor plates on its back, we can draw some wrinkles in the gaps between each row of plates. Draw some stripe textures on the plates. Then, draw more gaps on the back and add a little shadow here under the belly. Next, we move to draw the tail. We first draw the upper row of armor plates on the side of the tail, which are about 7 small ones, as well as its tail club. Here, we draw 7 very sharp, bony plates. We draw them from this angle, the last pair is relatively small. There is another row below it. Pay attention to its arrangement when drawing. The closer to the tail end, the closer the distance between the 2 rows of plates. We complete its tail club. We outline the lower part of the tail by using shading. There were many spikes on the top of the tail, and we draw jagged outlines of these spikes. On the side of the tail, we can use thin lines to represent the wrinkled feeling caused by the tail swinging from side to side. Then, we add a bit of ground. Add some details to the body, add some shadows below the plates. We can draw some structural lines on these body parts to show the soft skin, and add some shadows. Draw the calf muscles slightly. Under this row of spikes, let's draw a slight shadow. Lastly, slightly show the visible plates on the other side of the tail. Good, like this, we've finished drawing the body of Zuul.